so I don't try to fuck you, baby.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't have no
It's
baby.
not real, I don't even wanna go back home.
Hopefully I don't be on your arm.
What is this loving world?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Isla Rabiatul. I'm from class B 2018. Now I'm the 5th semester, and in this time I wanna explain about the 5 hypothesis theory of second language acquisition. The first hypothesis theory is the acquisition learning hypothesis. The acquisition learning is the most fundamental of the 5 hypothesis theory and the most widely known among linguists and language teachers. The acquired system or acquisition is the product of a subconscious very similar to the process children undergo when they acquire their first language. While the learned system or learning is the product of formal instruction and it comprises a conscious process which results in conscious knowledge about the language. For example, knowledge of grammar rules. A deductive approach in a teacher-centered setting produces is learning, while an inductive approach in a student-centered setting leads to acquisition. The second hypothesis theory is the natural order hypothesis. The natural order hypothesis is the idea that children learning their first language acquire grammatical structures in a predetermined natural order, and that some are acquired earlier than others. This idea has been extended to account for second language acquisition in Krashen's theory of language acquisition. One possible implication of this hypothesis is that teaching language through a traditional structural syllabus may not necessarily help them to acquire the language they need. Attempts to get the learners to produce structures before they are ready to do so may fail. The third hypothesis theory is the monitor hypothesis. The monitor hypothesis explains the relationship between acquisition and learning and defines the influence of the latter on the former. The monitoring function is the practical result of the learned grammar. According to Krashen, the acquisition system is the utterance initiator, while the learning system performs the role of the monitor or the editor. The fourth hypothesis theory is the input hypothesis. The input hypothesis relates to acquisition, not learning. We acquire by understanding language that contains structure a bit beyond our current level of competence, or E+1. This is done with the help of context or extra-linguistic information. It means that knowledge of language before learning, while 1 is it means that language knowledge obtained at a higher level after learning. The fifth or the last hypothesis theory is the affective filter hypothesis. The affective filter hypothesis basically explains that language cannot be learned if a learner is blocking the learning process. In other words, a learner can have a high affective filter or a low affective filter. The higher the filter, the more likely language learning will be impeded, while the lower the filter, the more likely that language learning will take place. I think it's enough from me. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you can understand what I explained last time. If you have a question, you may comment down below, and see you on my next video. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.